So we're looking at the continue statement in control flow, and what the continue statement actually does is it jumps over the next iteration inside a for loop, so it doesn't do the rest of the code after the continue statement. And just a good example, and this is, I'm going to put it over, this is in the Python documentation. Well, I've got not a good example, but I'll call it a basic example. Is this block of code, and we'll pull it in and paste it here. It's got the continue statement right here in the middle on line number 6. And really just to highlight is if we had here a large block of code, so somewhere here like a large block of code, this would not be run if this continue statement was engaged. So if this if statement was true, we then in our case we're going to print out an even number, and we're not going to look at any of the other stuff afterwards, and we're going to go to the next item in the for loop. So when we run this piece of code, we get our even numbers, and each time we find an even number, we just break out before printing odd numbers. And of course, if the continue statement wasn't there, then we would print out the even numbers and actually continue on to run the rest of the code. So that's what this continue statement actually does in Python. One thing to note is you could actually replace this continue statement, or you could consider it to be like a else statement in a way. So you could replace it, and you might ask the question. So if I take actually all of this code here and paste it over here, and instead of doing continue, we could put an else, because we know about if else's, then we could run this block of code over here just like that. So we would achieve the same output with an else statement. That's why I was saying it's not the best example, because a good example might be where you couldn't do a standard procedure, a very common procedure, to replace it. And we see here we could actually achieve the same thing. So one question to you, the viewers, is can you find a better use case for the continue statement? But nevertheless, that's what it does in Python. It continues to the next iteration of a for loop.